Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your girl. I'm here hanging on by a thread. So, as I mentioned last night, I had the Doppler stress test, and it was an experience. Um, Very tired afterward. It's not the old fashioned stress test where they just put you to an EKG and put you on a treadmill. Big difference nowadays. And I talked about that last night. So you can check that out, my health and wellness playlist. It's a short one, trust. It's just a 5-minute little thing talking about what it was. So I slept like a rock last night. And I think I mentioned last night I came home from the stress test to find that my house is literally falling apart. I have a bathroom done, which y'all saw, and I'm loving my bathroom. And the other project I wanted to do this year was to replace the sidings on the back of my house. We had a roof replaced 3 years ago now, but we had an issue where bees were getting behind the siding. So I said, you know what? Got rid of the bees, took care of it. I said, you know what? Let me just replace this siding. So that way we don't have this issue next year. So contractor comes in, gives me a price to replace the siding. I pay for it. I had a little money tucked away, so I said, okay, I can manage. Let me pay for this. Let's get this done so I don't have to worry about it again. And the guy comes yesterday while I was at the stress test. And he calls me just before they're about to call me in. He calls me. He says, we got a problem. I said, what do you mean we have a problem? He says, some of the wood's rotted. I said, well, I'm literally walking into this procedure. So I'll have to wait till I get home and then we'll follow up. So, I get home and I go to the back door because he was telling me there's an issue. So I go to the back door and it's like my heart went up in my throat. Now, my brother's bedroom is the back of the house, and because that's where we had the problem with the bees, so I figured some of the wood was probably bad on his side of the house. So I'm like, okay, I'm not too shocked, because I had a feeling some of his wood was messed up. But I'm like, okay. And I had a small cushion just in case we had to replace some of the wood on his side of the house. Well, I turned the corner and my back of the house, the kitchen side, is tore up. I'm looking at it and I'm like, this can't be right. This can't be my kitchen. So the kitchen corner is messed up and my brother's corner is messed up. They didn't even pull off the middle of the house, the middle of the back of the house, which is the bathroom. They didn't even take that part off yet. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, wood rot like you wouldn't believe. I honestly don't know what was holding up my kitchen wall. No, I shouldn't say that because it wasn't all the way back, but it was enough back that one of the posts in the corner was half gone. I don't know what was holding up my house, but God, be honest. So I called him and said, "Yeah, I'm home. So give me the quick rundown." And he said they started to take off the siding, and he said, I saw that, and he said, I can't cover that back up. We have to replace the wood. I said, yeah, I can see. And he said, I think you might have termites, the whole 9 yards. I'm going, termites? So he's getting me a quote for the wood. I think he's going to let me know today. I'm hoping it's not more than my cushion. If it's more than my cushion, we're going to have a huge problem. We're going to have to work something out. I'm going to have to do like a deposit and a payment plan, because well, I'm not going to put it out there. I've already had people praying that it's going to work out and I'm not going to go beyond my cushion. So I'm just going to believe on that. So, I had my exterminator come over and take a look at it. And he took a look. He looked in both spots. He said, the bees are definitely gone. The bees nest is like died out. So he said, you can just tell them just to throw it away. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have any infestation. And he said, whatever termites were there, they're gone. There's no termite damage. No more new termite damage. He said the termite damage that was there was from years ago. He said, but you definitely have water problem. And he said it was probably leaking before you, because I have a new roof. He said it was probably like that before you changed the roof. And he said it might go all the way up to the second floor. And I said, no, I'm not even going to put that out there. I don't have money to change all of that. So that's what I came home to. And part of me is like, it's a good thing that I decided to change the siding, because if we had gone another winter and with that water, and God knows what else was getting behind the siding, it would have been a lot worse. So in that aspect, yes, I'm glad I did it, but it's like I wasn't ready. I paid a certain amount for my bathroom. The rest of my project money was for the siding, and I already paid for the materials for the siding and the labor. I already paid for that, and that was several thousand. And so I don't have a lot of cushion left. Originally the cushion was to check and change the hot water heater. So the hot water heater is going to have to hang in there until next spring. But, yeah. So that's what's going on so far. So just keep praying for me. I'm just going to keep fingers crossed, and I've already had people praying that I don't go beyond my cushion, that he gets me a decent price on the wood, and we can just knock this thing out, at least get the bottom of the back of the house done. And then I can save up, put some money aside every month, and then hopefully by next spring we do the top of the house and just change whatever needs to be changed at the top of the house. Because that's the only way I'm going to be able to get this done. And it is what it is. So, anyhow, that's what's going on in my personal life. And I got the results from the stress test back last night very quickly. Looks like everything's normal. I'm not doing another one for a while, y'all. Anyway, that wasn't why I wanted to talk. That wasn't what I was going to talk about right now. So Crash Out Week kind of continues. Y'all following this church sector. The church sector is turning into the beef sector. That's all I can say. And, listen, I'm going to try and do an updated flow chart. That's going to take a while, y'all. I may not be able to do that till maybe the weekend. I'll put it up, but it's just getting wilder by the minute. But, the one thing that's kind of sticking out to me, and I want to throw this out there, Bishop Bernard Jordan and his family, because it's a family business at this point, his family, they're going around to different channels and they're dropping super chats and donations. I refuse to call them seeds. I'm just gonna call them donations. And what they do on their channel, they they ask for what they call seeds and offerings and that kind of thing, which I have talked about in previous videos. I've gone into detail about what a tithe is and all that stuff. So they're going to different channels and they are, how can I put this? They're offering support and they're doing the send a seed to so and so, and then the person gives out the names of whoever sold a certain amount of money, and then they give them a prophecy online, during the course of the show. And I have gotten a prophecy. I did it. I sent a little money, and I got a prophecy. And I will say the prophecy they gave me did make sense. But I noticed ever since Larry Reed's crash out and Thais's instigation, I'll get into that in another video. But ever since crash out week, they've been going around to different channels and occasionally dropping a super chat or a cash app. And Bishop Jordan went on, I think it was St. James's channel and another channel as well, and talked about how the church critic channels are tearing up the black church, and there should be a how do they put it now, that the channels, the bloggers need to come together, and we should have a summit and talk about uplifting our people and go so on and so forth. And I was thinking, you're giving these folks super chats or you're aligning yourself with these folks. And I mean, I'm not stupid, and I don't think a lot of people are stupid, but obviously if you're telling people to give a seed to the channel that you're on, you have to be getting a part of it. I mean, come on. You're not going to help somebody collect money and they not in turn give you a portion of it. I mean, come on. We're not stupid. If I was trying to figure out the best word to describe what I noticed, and the word that comes to mind for me is gentrification. Now, normally gentrification would refer to a neighborhood, like developers coming into a neighborhood that has been an established neighborhood, snatch up whatever properties are available, turn them into 2-3 family homes and jam people into the neighborhood. Also, well, in New York, I don't know about outside of New York, but basically in New York, they take whole neighborhoods and flip them over and make them too expensive for the people who grew up in the neighborhood to continue to live in the neighborhood. That's gentrification. And I'm thinking that's what they're trying to do with these channels. Gather them all together under the umbrella of coming together for the greater good. But in the meantime, that's more potential people to support Zoe Ministries. Either they influence people to join Zoe Ministries, or they do what they do on certain channels, and they pop up, they talk about whatever needs to be talked about, and then towards the end, like, hey, if this channel is beneficial to you, sow $100 seed. And like I said, there's no way that they are encouraging people to donate to a particular channel without getting a portion of it from the channel host. There's just no way. And that, it feels like gentrification. That's the word that comes to mind. So, is this Zoe Ministries reaching out to just align or eventually take over channels? Will there be like contracts like, hey, if we appear on your show, and we'll encourage people to sow you a seed on a regular basis, but you in turn give us 10%? I don't know. It's something to think about, though. It's something to think about. And, maybe I'm wrong. I will leave it to the online theologians to figure out, but maybe I'm wrong. But that's what it's looking like. It's gentrification of YouTube. So, anyway, I will work on the new flow chart, and I would be curious to see what you guys think, if it's if you feel like it's a gentrification of YouTube. Because I know some channels that will never go for it. I know some that will never align themselves with Zoe Ministries or Bishop Jordan. And I know some that are already partnering with them. So it's interesting to see how many more channels decide to align themselves or partner with. It's interesting. And then, of course, there's the bigger picture. Like, regular churches are upset at people exposing and trying to break down the black church by showing when a preacher does the wrong thing. Well, that's the whole point. It's called accountability. If you're doing the wrong thing and somebody knows it and they call you out on it, there's nothing wrong with that. You need to fix what you're doing. Simple as that. That's not breaking down the black church. It's actually weeding out the bad ones. If you make a mistake, apologize, do what you got to do, and fix it. If you keep making the same mistake or keep doing the wrong thing over and over again, don't be surprised if you get called out or questioned on it. That's the thing. Y'all don't want to get questioned. And then you wonder, oh, these bloggers, the social media, they're making us look bad. No, you're making yourself look bad by doing the wrong thing over and over again and getting called out for it over and over again. That's why I stay in the audience. When I can, I go to my little Catholic church and go sit down and pray a rosary, come back home. If I can't make it out, I sit there, do my little rosary, read my Bible, call it a day. because this is what it is. Anyhow, y'all, I hope y'all have a great day. I'm gonna do my best to have a good day too. But let me know what you think. You think the church blogging sector is attempting to be gentrified? Or you think it's just like a passing thing, it's not gonna last, and you know, we don't have to worry about it. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all have a great day. Peace.